Hello everybody, I hope all of you are having a good day today. 14 years ago on April 3rd 2008 I had a major stroke during surgery. The reason I had the stroke was because of a doctor's mistake during that surgery, and they spent more time with that surgery trying to save my life than they did actually doing what I was in surgery for. And whenever I woke up, my whole life was turned upside down. I couldn't swallow without getting choked. You know, my left side was in bad shape. You know, it was pretty numb and stuff. It hadn't gone completely dead yet. It did that later. But when I had that stroke, I was unconscious, so I never got to feel it coming along, you know, like a normal stroke. 4 days ago, about this time right now, I think it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock. I'd just gotten home from the gym. I'd been home maybe 30 minutes, and where we live on the mountain, some days you have water, some days you don't, and some days it'll be off for a little while and it'll come back on. On this particular day, it was Monday, the water was not working, and I was waiting on the water to come back on because I wanted to wash our car. I kind of have a routine that I like to keep, and working out, washing the car, doing the things, you know. And I was waiting on that, and my brother-in-law and a friend of his was working on our old car. They're trying to see if they could do something with it, get it to run again. And so I was just sitting there enjoying the day. We were all talking and laughing. I was watching them work on the car, and you know, it wasn't really super hot or anything like that. You know, just enjoying the day. And I went to walk around to one side of the car, and whenever I did, it felt like I slipped in something, or like I stepped in something and my foot slipped. I remember I stepped again, and it felt like I was slipping in something like grease or oil or something. Then I stepped again, did the same thing, and I even lifted up my foot, raised my foot up and looked at the bottom of my shoe to see if something was on there. I was thinking maybe I stepped in dog poo or something, you know, and there was nothing there. I was like, man, it's weird. So I went to step again, I felt it again, and then the next time I looked down and I watched my foot, and whenever I put my foot down, my foot stayed planted. It didn't move, but I felt my foot move inside here, 5, maybe 6 inches. It slipped like on ice. And then I did it 2 more times, and each time it'd do the same thing. The foot, my eyes saw my foot stay planted, but my mind told me my foot was slipping. And as soon as my eyes saw that, and my brain tried to process that, it's like my world just started to swirl. And I started tingling on the right side of my head, and then down the left side of my arm and leg and toes. And I just got really dizzy, weak, my whole world was swirling. And I knew at that moment, I realized what was happening to me. I said, I'm having a stroke. I didn't say it out loud, but I said it inside. And I said outside, I'm feeling kind of weird. And my wife and brother-in-law immediately panicked, you know, what's wrong, you know, and they went to grabbing me. And I started walking towards our truck here. And I told my wife, I said, I'm having a stroke. I said, I've got to get off this mountain. I've got to get to the hospital. There's a good clinic here, and I knew they had the medicine for strokes. I said, I've got to get off this mountain. I got to get to that hospital. They have medicine that will give me for this stroke. I said, if I don't get down there, I said, I'm going to die. You know, I got to go. And she panics, you know, she's like, somebody's got to drive, help drive. And I said, I'm not waiting on anybody to get her to drive. Nobody there knows how to drive, especially a standard. And I wasn't going to wait 30 minutes for them to find somebody. I said, I got to go. We got to do it now. I jump in the car. My brother-in-law sits beside me. My wife sits behind me. And they're talking to me, slapping me on the back the whole way down the mountain. I tell my brother-in-law, look, if I pass out here, see emergency brake, pull this up. Don't yank it up fast, pull it up gradually and slow, and just come to a stop. Steer the steering wheel. And going down the mountain 2 times, I went totally blind. Everything just went black. I couldn't see, and I just stopped really slow. I didn't panic, you know, jerk the wheel to the side or anything. And whenever my vision would come back, it's something like somebody just kind of slowly dimming the light switch. Whenever they would come back on, I'd drive. Go off again, I'd stop. Finally got to the hospital, and my wife just ran inside, said, my husband's having a stroke. Please give him the medicine. He said, you have special medicine here that would stop it. They immediately brought me inside, put me on an IV, put me on that medicine, and stabilized me. Took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was around 200 over 110. It ain't super high, but it's high enough. And there's no reason for my blood pressure to be up like that. There's no reason for me to have a blood clot or anything. They did my blood work, urine tests, and all that stuff. My cholesterol come back perfect. My heart, they did an EKG on me. My heart is perfect. Everything, my liver, my kidneys, everything is working fine. And like, we don't understand what happened. We don't understand why you had this, you know. And so they kept me in the hospital for one day and put me on every 6 hours. I had to have 100 cc's of this medicine through an IV to keep my brain from swelling. And they put me on blood pressure meds and stuff like that. And they got my blood pressure to where it's around 150 over 80, and sent me home and give me a 30-day supply of stuff I have to take. And one is for strokes and dementia and Alzheimer's, and then another is a blood pressure medicine, another is a blood thinner. And I don't like the blood pressure medicine. It makes me feel really weird and bad, but anyway, I have to take this for 30 days, and then I've got to go back for a checkup and see what's going on. They sent me home, and since I've been home, I've had 6 more episodes of, I call it the slippy foot feeling, and where it feels like I'm slipping in something every time I check the bottom of my shoe, like I'm stepping on something I should know by now. But I've had 6 of those episodes, and I haven't had one in 24 hours, praise the Lord. And I think maybe I'm getting better. I'm thinking maybe this medicine is stabilizing, or the swelling in my brain is going down. Now we just got to figure out why. And this is a weird part coming up here. A few months ago, I had a dream, and I had this dream that I'm in my car and I'm driving down the side of this mountain, and I can see a river down below. It's kind of like a valley, and I see on the other side of this river this other mountain, but it's just absolutely beautiful over there. It's perfect, it's beautiful, it's like heaven on the other side of the river. And so I drive down to the base of the mountain next to this river, and I've got a cousin in Mount Pleasant, Texas. He's a mortician there, Daryl Cooper. Love Daryl Cooper. He's always been a good friend and family member. And but he's on the other side of this river, and he's just looking at me, just kind of grinning, not a big smile, not a frown, but just kind of grins. He just waves at me like that, and I woke up. I didn't need anybody to interpret that dream for me. I was like, whoa, man, that's kind of weird. And a few weeks after that, I got deathly ill. We don't know if it's food poisoning, if it was amoebae or what, you know. I almost died. I lost a lot of weight, and while I was in the hospital, they did some blood work and urine work on me and everything, and the doctor came back and he told me, he said, look, I seen some things in your blood or in your urine, I can't remember now. He said that tell me that there's a strong possibility you've got cancer somewhere. And he said, I would like for you to come back and let me do some more work on you, get an ultrasound done on you and some other work, and see what's going on. And when he told me that, I remembered my dream. And I was like, oh, so this is how I'm going to die. It's going to be a long death with cancer or something, you know. And then I just kind of went on about my life. I've been putting off going and getting tests and things done because I've been busy, you know, a lot of stuff going on. And then a couple of weeks ago, I have another dream. And in this dream, I'm in America with my mom, and my mom is crying really bad because I'm leaving her, and I think I'm going home. I think I'm coming back to the Philippines, but I just know I'm going home. And my mom is crying, doesn't want me to leave. And I woke up. I video chat with my mom every day, every morning when I wake up, and that morning when I woke up, I called my mom. And we are 13 hours ahead of most of you guys, and so she had actually had her morning already, and it was evening whenever I called her. And she said, I had a strange dream last night. She said, I dreamed that you were here, but you were leaving me going home, and I was crying, and your dad was consoling me, and that I was really hurt that you were leaving. I said, Mom, I had the exact same dream last night. I get goosebumps now just talking about it. So needless to say, whenever I had this stroke or whatever it was that I had, one of the first things that went through my mind was, well, this is sudden, this is happening faster than I thought it was. I was thinking I was gonna die a slow, death, which however I die, it's God's will, but, I ain't worried about it. But I was thinking I had more time. And I remember telling Lynn, I thought I had more time. I wasn't expecting this so sudden. I was just feeling great, getting ready to wash the car. And so now here I am. And so I'm gonna have to go and have some tests run and stuff and see what this is. We Googled this, we've had other people looking into this and stuff, and it could be like 3 possibilities. I either had a stroke, I have early signs of MS, or I have a brain tumor. I got cancer that probably spread to my brain. Not real sure. I'm not worried about it. I'm not telling you guys this because I want you to be all scared and worried and stuff like that. Just sharing my life with you guys. This has happened, and I don't know what God's plan is, but I know I will spend the rest of my life, however much time I've got, whether it's 20 minutes or 20 years, sharing the love of God, sharing my testimony, and talking about this amazing love that changed my life and give me, for now, an amazing 10 years that I didn't think or imagine that I would ever have. And that's what the past 10 years have been. It's just been amazing walking this walk with Him. And anyway, I don't know how much time I got. None of us know how much time we have. I know there's nothing we can do in this life to extend our time. You're not going to live 1 second longer or shorter than is predetermined for us. And so I'm not worried about death. I know that after I'm done here, this isn't finished. There's something else. What that is, I have no idea, but it's got to be better than this place. And I'm going to live the rest of my life to its fullest. It's my plan anyway. So I just hope whatever time I have left in this world, I am capable of living up to the fullness of Christ in me, and not be limited by a disabled body. Anyway, keep us all in prayer, keep my family in prayer, and as always, I love you all. God bless.